Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alice Blue, and I do have patch notes for you. But first, I have an announcement. I am officially an Embers Adrift affiliate. And this means that I can receive a commission when you purchase the game using my link. Now, I will put the link in the description. I will also put a separate link in the description for purchasing the For a Friend option. Unfortunately, there was no way to make the one link apply to both purchasing options, so I'll have two links for that. Also, for some weird reason, I'm not really sure why. I think it has to do with the people who handle the money or something. Anyways, when you do use my link to purchase the game or to purchase the For a Friend game key, you'll get an email. And that email will be some kind of ID code number. You'll need to grab that code number and plug it into your account page. So yeah, if you don't do that, then I won't get the commission. I don't know why it's like that. I can't fix it. And the devs are way too busy to deal with that sort of thing right now. So, if you're interested in helping me earn a little bit of money, I would be very, very, very grateful. Now, moving on. Patch notes. Let's get right to it. So these are the patch notes for November 3rd. What's new? This week brings a number of bug fixes, a few new keybinds, and a new Ember Drift. Feature development was a bit slower this week as focus had to be shifted towards fixing some critical back-end bugs. On Sunday, we encountered an issue with the social server, which left many of you unable to log in for a short period of time. We have a good idea of what was causing this and have made some changes to reduce the likelihood of it happening again. In addition, we have found that high traffic zones, such as Meadowlands, are showing appreciable memory leaks that we are working to identify and resolve. Until such time, we may occasionally ask that you switch to a new instance so that we can reboot the leaky zones. Thank you for your patience while we hunt these bugs down. We had a pretty awful memory leak like last year, earlier this year. Thankfully, that one got fixed, but it appears we've sprung a new leak. Unfortunately, that means that a lot of the devs' time is going to be devoted to nothing but hunting down this leak. Hopefully, it won't take them too long to hunt it down, and they can get back to giving us what we really want, and that is new content. Alright, so bug fixes and improvements. Tech. Fixed another issue with Riposte that was causing it to hit more than it should have. Fixed an NPC pursue abilities. Now consider LOS before executing. Added loot roll keybinds. You can now bind need, greed, or pass for the topmost item in the loot roll UI. This is amazing. Something we've needed for a long time. Thank you very much. Fixed NPCs that Conrad were ignoring all of your armor. They now only ignore some of it. I hope that this also fixed all of the other mobs because, in my opinion, it was also present on every mob, not just red mobs. But every mob was just tearing through everybody. And it honestly, to be honest, it was making the game very not fun. So I hope that it's better this week. Fixed an issue where stun was not taking hold if the NPC was feared. Fixed the method in which we select a respawn point for players in the dungeon has been overhauled. Which dungeon? The previous system was yielding inconsistent results, with players potentially popping up in entirely different wings of the dungeon. Now each section of the dungeon has a designated respawn point, regardless if you have discovered it or not. Groups should no longer be split when giving up if everyone gives up in the same room. Nav meshes for all zones have been rebaked using new settings. Previously, the max angle an NPC could navigate was 45 degrees, which restricted the nav mesh on some steeper surfaces. Their angle has been increased to 60 degrees, matching the player's max angle. This should result in far less wrath hits on steeper surfaces and overall more consistent NPC pathing with respect to player movement. Environment and art. Fixed missing collider in the aquifer. Fixed various holes in dungeon room walls. Adjusted various creature sizes and size ranges. That's interesting. UI. Added container icon for equipment. Banner equipment type renamed to offhand accessory. Fixed inconsistency in equipment header size when compared with other windows. Fixed the red progress indicator for specs now renders on top of the gray blocker, which covers levels 1 to 6. Added the topmost loot roll is now highlighted with blue background. This is mostly to indicate which loot roll your keybinds are active for, if bound. Added your need greed pass selection is now echoed to chat when selected. Added chat notification when an augment wears off. Added durability like bar on items that are augmented for quicker visual reference to their status. That's great, thank you. Be a lot easier to check your augments. Quest rewards for killing the Overseer have been upgraded in level to represent the higher level challenge. Design. Reworked Basilisk armor plate's ability to not fully resist hits. Fixed skinning level for Gullet and Ancient Croc. Reduce low level 1 chevron mob damage to be back in line with previous values. Coolback social aggro behavior increased. Coolbacks will now assist each other more likely than before. So we're back to the highly social swarming bunnies. Ant and anthill social aggro behavior increased. Oh no. It's going to be a nightmare navigating Trifoot. Rats now have short-range social aggro. But did they not have that before? Because it really seemed like they did. Exile and New Haven laborers have been changed to friendly targets, so you can stop killing the poor souls hoping for rare drops. Dryfoot content revamped to better serve specific group sizes. Ant hills now have multiple 3 chevron ants nearby that will grant normal XP. Ant hills are much more common across the zone. What do you mean they're more common? They're fucking everywhere already. Mountain Pass ruins. Reduced level of these mobs and changed to be full group difficulty. Populated Marauder camp north of Mountain Pass ruins. Slightly increased 3 chevron mob density in large central veins south room. Huh? You mean the basement? Good, there was too many 1-ups in there. NPC Venom Strike ability will no longer apply the damage over time component to their target if parried dodged, or blocked. Ability Perforate, given a unique ability icon to differentiate from weak point. Yay! One of the abilities got a new icon. Basic tea, available at many general merchants and outposts. Imbued wooden buckler recipe added to loot tables. Thank goodness. Now, hopefully the drop rate isn't complete garbage. Because I really need that recipe. Updated description on open wound to better communicate that it has a chance to deal damage on hit. All ability upgrades added up to level 50. Auras cannot be upgraded and will require a new ability. These new abilities will likely be added to your spec trainer in the coming weeks, along with new level 30 plus abilities. What? So you're telling me that we're going to have to go to a trainer and purchase an ability? I don't quite understand that. A fixed issue that was causing mobs that run faster than the player to be unable to hit the player while chasing. A new Emberdrift dungeon has been added to Dryfoot. Works in progress. Item linking. Timeline 1 to 3 weeks. We have started work on item linking in chat. However, there are a few usability issues that we are working through, so the timetable is unclear at this point. Can't wait for that one. I hope that comes sooner rather than later. That will be a major help in trying to buy and sell things. More Ashen. Timeline 1 to 2 weeks. More Ashen creatures were slated to make it in sooner than later, but as always, other bugs took priority, and this has been pushed another week. This includes raccoons, does, stags, and others. Repair cost timeline 2 to 3 weeks. We're looking into improving how repair costs are calculated to mitigate repair costs at higher levels. Still some work left to do, but just wanted you to know that we are working on it. We should have this updated by the time players get to high enough levels where this starts to become a pain point. New zones. Timeline 2 to 3 weeks. We're still whittling away at new zones. This week we have brought you a new Emberdrift dungeon to Dryfoot. We still need to swing back around to some more static dungeons for Meadowlands and Dryfoot, followed by an outdoor dungeon for Redshore. Better be quick because people are pushing 30s already. Not even a month in and people are pushing 30s. Quest changes. Timeline 1 week. The quest changes to prominent quests such as the Ancient Bear, mentioned last week, made their way through rewrites. However, due to some tech attention being diverted to the social server, these changes did not make it into the build this week. It doesn't look like there's any new known issues. I'm gonna be honest with you guys for a minute. I'm not a fan of some of these recent changes, not just in this patch notes, but in last week's as well. And I'm feeling quite frustrated with the game right now, which is totally normal. It happens from time to time. It's always pulled through though. So I'm sure some of you are also quite frustrated lately. But I'm here to tell you that from experience, it gets better. Provide your constructive feedback. Help each other out as players. Help new players out. Help, just be kind. Help each other out. Anyways, I'm not gonna turn this into a whole ass feedback video. Well, that could be interesting if you guys want to hear that. Let me know. And thank you so very much for watching. And I will see you next time. Hopefully I'll see you in game.